Aquarius! What is up, man? It's good to see you guys. This is going to be a reading in the constellation of Aquarius. Guys, if you want to book a full session, there's going to be a link down in the comments or in the description of whatever platform this is on. I'm looking in the past. I'm looking at some type of altercation or some type of conflict taking place. So whether this is a conflict with you and somebody else, look at like a physical conflict. So I'm looking at the Two of Cups represents two people coming together in a union. This is coming in upside down in the past. It's also ruled by Mercury. Mercutio energy is very, very hard to navigate for a lot of people. A lot of people spend years studying this stuff and hardly ever understand what Mercury teaches us. It takes a certain kind of person to be willing to go through the flames of Mercury. So I'm looking at some type of disturbance in the past, that some relationship that you're in right now is causing you, it's throwing you off. It's causing you to, this is how you're normally, the energy you're normally in. This is the Magician. This is coming in upside down. So I'm looking at the inverted Magician. So I'm looking at some type of relationship around you is causing some type of inversion. Interpersonal relationships, they're extremely hard to navigate. This is why most relationships in this country fail. Most of them lack empathy. They lack intimacy. And when I say intimacy, I don't mean sex. I mean the actual bonding that takes place between two people through communication. This is all verbal and non-verbal communication. Both are needed in a relationship. So if you're in a relationship right now and you're not having sex with your partner, I'm looking at there's issues. I'm looking at trouble in paradise. This is, for some of you, this could also be like a coworker, a parent, or a brother or sister. Whatever that imbalanced relationship is, I'm looking at temperance is coming in to teach you patience, to teach you how to talk, how to communicate properly, even in the face of inversion, of chaos. When someone's sitting there screaming at you, you do not engage back. You do not scream back. Right? We learn to use the psychological aspects of our communication, and we learn to change the tone, to change the pitch of the conversation. So whether this is changing the direction, the flow of what you're talking about, or coming up that throws the conversation way off in left field. There's a UFO. Did you guys see that? It's things like that, you know? Whatever you have to do to break up that constant chaos between two people when they're arguing, it's important that you learn to break away. If you have to, get out, go walk down the street. No words need to be exchanged during heated arguments like that. We get to a place where we're talking with our partners or with your boss or with a loved one, and when it gets out of hand, we learn to cut it off. We have to be the bigger one and walk away. And sometimes this means giving it a little time to heal. I'm looking at the family life. This is a cohesive, balanced family unit. Everything you're looking for when it comes to love, companionship, empathy, joy, happiness. Looking, it's inverted, and this is in the current energy going forward into the future. So if you look at the way the pentacles are shaped, this is the tree of life. So I'm looking at the inverted tree of life. For some of you magical practitioners out there, this is encouraging you to be working the darker aspects to the tree, the Qliphoth. There's some type of manifestation that you're wanting, something that you're wanting to happen. And I'm looking at that hasn't happened yet. It's causing disruption in your thought process and the way you feel. It's keeping you from experiencing peace inside. So how you feel right now, there's something you're worried about or thinking about or wanting to happen, and because you're focused on that, it's not happening. right? But right around the corner, when we learn to balance that, to just change your mind to something else and keep working on future projects, I'm looking at, bam! Out of the sky comes a golden goose. There are beautiful things that are waiting to happen to you. I know sometimes it feels like you're getting your ass kicked, but right around the corner, I'm looking at beautiful things begin to happen, and I'm looking at the floodgates of emotion, love, money, right, begin pouring in. You can see this is an overabundance. This isn't just abundance. This takes abundance to the next level. This is where you not only have all your bills paid, but you have money to go spend, you have money to buy cool shit. Right, so this is a place where your cup runneth over. And we need that, man. We need that sometimes. Sometimes you've been in the trenches getting your ass kicked and it feels like nothing's going your way, and then bam! We make the right move and then lightning falls from the sky. In the future, I'm looking at, right now you're putting up a fight. There's something about you needs to change, or some type of spiritual gift is trying to be given to you. But I'm looking at you've been refusing it in the past, in the future. Down the road a little bit, there's going to be a place where that changes, right? Where we accept a spiritual gift. So whatever that is, these spiritual gifts can look like a new job, a new partner. It could look like a new place to live, a move. Oftentimes when I see this, this is your guides trying to offer you to get you to a different place in life, so they need you to move. Jump states, jump locations, move to a city where you don't know anybody. And a lot of times, fear keeps you from wanting to achieve that. The fear of what happens, what if. That fear is what must be focused on and channeled into the opposite direction, to where we put action. When you're giving gifts, it's important that you take the information. It's not just enough to channel the information, to get information from your guides, your higher self, God, whatever language you want to put on it. But it's important that you take the information and we put it into practice, right? I'm looking at you hearing some type of bad news. Let's just hit the left ear. So I'm looking at you hearing some type of bad news. I'm also looking at you upset. Upset over a fight, upset over an argument, upset over some type of imbalance in your life, something you're wanting to change, but it hasn't, and you weep. There's more information that's needed. You're at a place where we need to learn more, where there needs to be more focus on your spiritual growth, your physical growth, and your psychological growth. This is learning new information, and we start climbing. We start climbing the ladder of information. This is learning how to climb the chakra system, or how to climb up the 33 vertebrae in the back, Jacob's ladder. It leads to an illumination. I'm looking at something that hides in the dark. Something inside of you, that lower vibration of self that keeps you stuck in those lower states of, I wish I would do this, I wish this would happen. You need to tell your lower self to fuck off. We have to get to a place to where you have to learn to tell yourself no. When your ego tries to tell you, hey, let's go get some chocolate, I want some cake. Right? When you hear that, and you know you shouldn't be eating cake, you know that shit is toxic and poison for yourself. Even though you're feeling and hearing that, you have to stop. You have to tell yourself no. It's important that we learn to differentiate the echoes that you hear inside your mind I'm looking at a unification taking place. I'm looking at you walking into something good, walking into some situation around the corner. In our life, sometimes death, the Pale Rider itself has to come riding into our life to break shit up, to burn shit down. But if you'll notice, when death comes, behind it lies a brand new beginning. This is standing at the gateless gate. So this is you, this is also you. Learning to see that sometimes you stand in blocking your own beautiful new beginning, right? So you're the only one that stands in the way, right? So it's important that we learn to cast aside any death, fear, doubt, anger, illusions, and we learn to stand up, to rise and begin to walk to our future timeline, to the highest version of yourself, to a better life. The only way we get there is by taking one foot in front of the other. Sometimes we need to go outside and we need to set proper manifestations under the moon. The moon is the magnetic energy, the subconscious mind. When this is properly channeled, it creates a level of creativity inside of you. It will light a fire. This is where the Kundalini fire gets lit and rises up the spinal column, causing a reaction inside the pineal gland, which then surges power, unlike anything you've experienced through your body. We increase the voltage in your body. So make sure you're taking the time to go out into nature, begin to bond with it, to work with it. All of you should be practicing some type of grounding technique. That's what the staff is for. The staff, he's got shoes on, but because he has the staff in his hands, it's grounding, it's hitting the ground, the energy's running up through the staff and into his body. So we need to look at our life. So even if we've got shoes on, something's blocking your path, blocking your connection, we find another way around. We do whatever it takes to bring more energy into the body, more illumination into the self. That's where all the beautiful things in life come from. I'm getting ants walking over my cards. It's walking backwards to the past. So I'm looking at some type of irritation, some type of distraction leaving your life. I'm looking at clarity about to pop up for you. I'm looking at luck, baby. Luck is about to enter the chat. Abundance. This is where we begin to learn a new skill, get a new job, increase in money, increase in consciousness, increase in love. They're all the same thing. Most people section these things off as they're something separate, but they are all the one thing. And we learn to connect all of those. We learn that life is a juggling act. We can't just focus on one area of your life and expect it to be productive or produce. It will never will. It's when we engage every sense that we have, every aspect of who and what you are, and then we project that out into the world to create the life that you've always wanted. It takes action, it takes planning, and it takes intuition. This is your homework. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to leave the reading there, man. If you guys like the reading, again, you want to book a private session with me, I also teach telekinesis and I do holographic healing sessions as well. The holographic healing sessions, I would open and activate every chakra inside your body. I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. You're going to feel me working on you. You're going to feel sensations all over the body. You're going to see visuals. You might even have full-blown conversations with your guides. So if you guys have a question on how that works, man, just shoot me a message, all right? You guys have a beautiful day. Enjoy your immortality.